is W6, where RJ Broadhead dives into the who, what, where, when, why, and how they all come together for a Tiger Cats win.
The Tiger Cats hit the midpoint of the season with their 9th game against Edmonton at Tim Hortons Field Thursday at 7:30. Hey everybody, I'm RJ Broadhead. This is W6. Let's start with the who to watch in this game. Following last game, the loss to Montreal, the Ticats mutually parted ways with offensive coordinator Tommy Condell and replaced him with Scott Milanovich as the play caller on offense. Earlier this week, the Ticats Audio Network spoke with both Scott Milanovich and Orlondo Steinauer about the changes and what to expect from the offense going forward. You can hear that on Run It Back on the Ticats Audio Network. Coach O also addressed it on the Coach O Show with Luke Tasker, so be sure to check that out too. Milanovich did say that the main focus for the game against Edmonton is to attempt to limit or eliminate turnovers and penalties. He has a reputation for being a great coach of quarterbacks. He spent time in the NFL with Jacksonville and Indianapolis as the quarterback coach and has had plenty of success in the CFL too. Taylor Powell is the quarterback that Milanovich is molding right now, and he's impressed from what he's seen.
I like him. He's got a really quick release. I think he's accurate. He's got the ability to extend and create outside of the pocket. You know, I was with him. He came in training camp when I was up here for the last few days I was here, and I liked him then. You know, it's just he's been obviously forced to play before, you know, everybody had hoped, because you hope a guy like that can get some time to sit and watch. It's a unique game, the CFL. So, but he's done a great job. I think he's done an amazing job. He's confident. He's a leader. I expect him to play well.
Taylor Powell will make his 3rd CFL start, still looking for his first CFL win. A couple of interesting notes about Powell. He has made all of his starts at Tim Hortons Field. His first CFL pass was a touchdown to Tim White. That was on the road in Edmonton on July 13th. Powell came into that game in the third quarter after Matt Schultz was injured. By the way, Tim White hasn't scored a touchdown since. That's a span of 3 games, matching his longest touchdown drought of the season. On to the what, and what lineup changes are the Ticats making? There will be a change at receiver. Ticats are inserting Anthony Johnson and removing Terry Godwin. Johnson played in 6 games last season and caught 17 passes for 283 yards and a touchdown. Godwin had been a favorite target for Taylor Powell, who had completed 27% of his passes to Godwin, second in Powell-thrown receptions to only James Butler. Godwin and Butler combined to have caught 58% of Powell's completions. On defense, the Ticats welcome a couple of key defensive linemen back from injury, Dylan Wynn and Mason Bennett. Where the Tiger Cats sit after 8 games is at 3-5 in 3rd place in the East Division. The Elks are 0-9 and are still in search of their first win of the year. The Ticats are zeroed in on keeping the 0 in the Elks win column. Simoni Lawrence is coming off a big game and feels the Ticats are ready for this challenge.
I think that our coaches do such a good job, especially starting with Coach Orlondo, of telling us and giving us the information that we need and preparing us for these games. And I think that this week we should be on it. You know, Edmonton's a great team. You know, they're one of those teams where you're like, man, they got so many players. How are they losing? But they're finding ways to lose, and we just got to keep them like that.
This is Orlondo Steinauer with his thoughts.
I think they're evolving as a team too. So they've changed not just personnel, but they're doing a few different things. They've obviously changed their quarterback. They've changed their play caller. And so while there is familiarity with the team as a whole, there's different variables within the team that we haven't seen. So we'll have our hands full. And they're as odd as it may sound. You can tell that they're playing with a little bit of confidence. And it wouldn't really matter if they're 9-0. It's like this is a game that we need to focus on solely and not look past it.
The Elks did win the only meeting last season. It was at Tim Hortons Field, and it was a heartbreaker. The Ticats led 22-9 in the third quarter, but Edmonton scored 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to win 29-25. That put the Ticats record at the time in 2022 at 0-4. It was the first ever game where the Ticats wore their steel gray made in the Hammer uniforms. Interesting to look back to. Tim White is the only receiver who caught a pass in that game that is starting for the Ticats this week. Trey Ford made his CFL debut in that game, and that's his only CFL win to date. He will start for the Elks again on Thursday. In the first meeting this season, Taylor Cornelius was the starter for Edmonton and did not fare very well in that Ticats 37-29 win. The 37 points are the most the Ticats have scored in a game this season. Since that game, though, the Ticats have been held under 20 points in each of their last 3 contests. This will be the Ticats' 5th game at Tim Hortons Field. They currently have a record of 1-3 at home. They haven't had a losing record at home since 2018. The Ticats have scored just 3 touchdowns in those 4 home games this season. Those touchdowns have been scored by Tyreek McAllister, Taylor Powell, and James Butler. When this game is played, it will complete the final Thursday game of the season for the Ticats. They had 2 Thursday games, both against Edmonton. When the Ticats hit the halfway mark last season, they had a record of 3 wins and 6 losses. So if they can beat Edmonton, 4-5 is an improvement. If the Elks win, then the Ticats will have the same 3-6 record at the midway point of the season. Keep in mind, the Ticats did make the playoffs last year despite that start, thanks to a 5-4 record in the second half. There's over half a season to go. The Tiger Cats are currently in a playoff spot thanks to a game in hand on Ottawa and winning the season series against the Red Blacks. A victory against Edmonton would put the Ticats 1 win back of the Alouettes for the time being. Montreal is in Ottawa on Saturday, so the outcome of the Ticats game is significant. A Ticats win and an Ottawa win means the Ticats will stay in a playoff position and are just 1 win back of Montreal. A Ticats win and a Montreal win means the Ticats separate themselves from Ottawa for 3rd place and don't lose any ground on Montreal. We won't even discuss a Ticats loss. Plenty still to come before kickoff on Thursday at 7:30. Game day with Courtney Stephen and Mike Daly. They'll get you set up on Thursday prior to the game. Pre-game show is at 6:30. That's with Bubba O'Neill and Andy Fantus. And then myself and Luke Tasker will have the call at 7:30. Listen.ticats.ca.
Now that you've got your W6 for this week's game, give the Ticats Audio Network a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you find your audio content.